Queen Camilla has just dropped a bombshell that stunned royal circles in the world, which has also started a discussion on what the future of the monarchy would be. Recently, the younger generation has begun to question the relevance of the monarchy in the present generation, and the issues that Camilla just revealed have intensified that discussion. So, what exactly happened that could be so transformative? Well, King Charles reportedly fainted on his 76th birthday after getting an unexpected call from his estranged son, Prince Harry. The bombshell stoked speculation about the king's health and the future of the monarchy, as well as rekindled debate about the extremely fractured relationship in the royal family. The call from Prince Harry was not one that anyone anticipated. Since he abandoned royal duty in 2020 and gave those interviews, Harry's relationship with his father has been on the brink of collapse. The release of his book, Spare, only succeeded in widening the gap, with very intimate details that painted Charles as an occasionally aloof and emotionally unavailable parent. Though there were sporadic accounts of short encounters in the past, nobody expected Harry to call his father directly on this very important day. It was an unexpected and historic move that indicates the possibility of things getting better between them. Despite the upheavals of recent years, Charles had always freely referred to Harry as his son and adored him, even if he was surprised at how he went about making family grievances so public. When the call came, it was reported to have taken Charles by surprise. The talk, brief as it was said to be courteous and cordial. It was an olive branch, an extended hand to mend the festering wounds of so many years. The psychological toll of the call, however, appeared to exact its toll on the king. In less than an hour of speaking to Harry, Charles then lost consciousness and collapsed in a moment which left everyone near him in panic. Queen Camilla, who was nearby, later recounted that the incident had been horrific. While he received treatment promptly and recovered rapidly, the incident prompted concern over his health. The fact that he fainted on such an emotionally charged day raised questions in people's minds as to whether or not the pressure of the throne was finally catching up with him. This wasn't the first illness scare that Charles experienced on the throne. Since the day he became king, there was speculation about whether he would even be able to manage the Herculean task of being king at an age when most men are already retired. His 2023 health ordeal, during which he had been taken into hospital for what Buckingham Palace first explained as a routine procedure, had already caused concern. Though the specifics were never disclosed, everyone assumed it was due to a long-standing prostate issue. Charles had been said to be even more exhausted several days prior, and his royal itinerary had to be rearranged as a result. At the start of his reign, Charles had also been experiencing inflamed fingers, a condition that had been the object of much controversy among medical professionals and the general public. Though he put it down to water retention or a small circulatory issue, the majority guessed that it was a sign of some other more sinister underlying condition. There were also unconfirmed reports of Charles experiencing dizziness during prolonged royal functions, though palace sources had always denied such accounts. His own mother, Queen Elizabeth II, had herself also been a pillar of strength in her latter years despite her own illness, playing her part right up to almost the very end. It is not the same for Charles. There was worry that he would not live as long. His birthday collapse did little more than fuel such worries. If the king was already suffering from such health issues this early in his reign, what would happen to the monarchy? A frail or sickly king would erode public confidence, especially at a time when many people are already questioning if the institution is even necessary. Charles had waited all his life for the throne, and now that he had finally obtained it, his health appeared to be providing an unwelcome barrier. The fainting spell also presented succession issues. Prince William is well established as heir, and the monarchy has a clear line of succession, but an ailing king could prove destabilizing. If Charles's health continues to deteriorate, would he be healthy enough to undertake the challenges placed on a monarch? Would he, like some of the European monarchs, resign in favor of his son? These were the kinds of questions that had once appeared premature, but now hung precariously. Camilla, the constant presence by Charles's side, was said to have been upset by the experience. While she minimized the severity of the fainting spell in public, in private, she was said to be worried about her husband. She had witnessed firsthand the effect that royal life had had on him. While Charles was devoted to duty, it became evident that the demands of being a king, along with unresolved personal tensions, were beginning to wear him down. The monarchy is an institution that has always depended on the illusion of stability and power. What people believe about the health of the king is not so much about Charles, but about the entire system of the monarchy. If the king is ill or in distress, the future of the institution can be put into question. When Charles's collapse was announced, people reacted differently. Some wished him well in good faith, hoping it wasn't serious. Others saw it as a moment to emphasize the relentless strain that was placed upon a man who had waited over 72 years to be king. Then there were others who questioned the future of the throne. Was this going to be the intervention needed to finally heal Harry and Charles? Or would it just be adding to pressure on an already complicated issue? Inside sources say the king is healthy, and palace staff have assured the public that all is well, but the event has put everyone on their toes. The king's physical well-being will be closely monitored in the coming months, and any more incidents will serve only to generate even more suspicion. King Charles's health issues also indicated a larger issue within the royal family. He's not the only one suffering from illnesses. The monarchy has had an unusually difficult year, and even Queen Camilla and Catherine, Princess of Wales, have battled serious illness. These conflicts have cast a shadow over the future of the royal family and raised questions about how they will handle both their personal health and their public reputation. Catherine, adored by all as the future queen and symbol of stability within the royal family, shocked the world when it was revealed that she had been diagnosed with cancer. The news broke during a period when public speculation about her health had already been rising. Her absence from royal functions had not gone unnoticed, and the palace's initial silence only served to generate speculation. When she finally addressed the public, announcing her diagnosis and that she had begun treatment, it was a moment of shock. The Princess of Wales was previously said to have undergone surgery on the stomach, and officials in the palace had said it was cancer-related. Later, further medical examinations revealed that she had cancerous cells and hence underwent preventative chemotherapy. It was bad news for Catherine and her family. Having had 3 children, she was always occupied with her kids, and the idea of having to fight a life-threatening illness while raising Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis was by no means enticing. Her treatment was properly organized so that she could still carry out her royal responsibilities as much as possible without jeopardizing her recovery. Preventative chemotherapy, a treatment that is often employed in cases where doctors wish to destroy any remaining cancer cells after the initial treatment, was part of her regimen. While she was positive and determined to beat the disease, the psychological impact on her and Prince William was tremendous. William, already burdened with added duties due to his father's illness, now had his royal duties mixed in with having to take care of his wife. He scaled down his public duties so he could stay home with Catherine. As a couple, they always had a good relationship, but this latest adversity tested them in ways they didn't realize were possible. The news of her condition was also unexpected to the public. She was always known as a model of health and vitality, an energetic monarch always seen engaging in sports, charitable work, and family. It came as a reminder to everybody that even those who seem to be invincible are subject to the whims of life. Meanwhile, Queen Camilla herself has been fighting ill health as well, though mainly out of the public eye. Now 76, she has shown incredible resilience, especially with the additional burden passed on to her after Charles's coronation. Off-stage, she has been fighting off intermittent sicknesses which have caused her to tone it down at times. Osteoporosis, a hereditary disorder, has been Camilla's longest fight. She revealed her mother's experience with the condition, ultimately leading to her severe pain and immobility at her advanced age. Camilla has fought tooth and nail to raise awareness of osteoporosis, promoting early detection and bone health. She has also done all she can to protect her health, maintaining a healthy diet and exercising regularly in an attempt to evade the condition. Occasionally, Camilla has described having flare-ups of sporadic pain as a consequence. Apart from osteoporosis, Camilla has also had recurring bouts of sinus infection and shortness of breath. Though these are minor compared to other family illnesses, they have occasionally forced her to cancel engagements. Being a queen has only complicated her schedule, and the stress generated from trying to get the most out of her royal schedule and fretting over Charles's health will have cost her as well. Since she also had her own health problems, she has contributed even more to assisting Charles and making sure the monarchy continues. Whether covering engagements when Charles was fatigued or serving as a consistent presence during periods of uncertainty, Camilla has been a consistent strength that has sustained the royals. The compounding health issues the royal family is facing have put added emphasis on stability in the institution. Charles, Catherine, and Camilla, each with some type of medical condition all at the same time, put additional burdens on Prince William like never before. Prince William has had to step up in ways he hadn't expected. The perception among the public has also shifted. Whereas the royal family has traditionally been seen as a representation of power, these medical crises have humanized them. They have been viewed by the public as less untouchable icons and more as a family that deals with the same problems that millions of other people do. This has, in a way, united them with the public, but it has also produced hard questions regarding the future. There has been speculation regarding whether or not senior royal duties might be redistributed, with Prince Edward, Princess Anne, and even Prince George potentially having to take on more duties in the coming years. However, there is also the chance that Charles will ultimately be compelled to deal with the issue of abdication if his own health does not allow him to rule effectively. Meanwhile, the royal family is walking a tightrope, trying to maintain order as much as possible and managing their respective medical conditions. The next few months will tell us how they all get on. Despite the challenge, one thing is certain: the royal family is going through one of its most challenging periods in recent memory, not due to scandal or political upheaval, but due to the inescapability of humanity's vulnerability. Their ability to ride this out with integrity and resilience will determine the future of the monarchy in profound ways. The royal family's health problems have not only disrupted public confidence in the immediate future of the monarchy, but also initiated broader debates about the long-term sustenance of the institution. While King Charles, Queen Camilla, and Princess of Wales Catherine struggle with private medical conditions, the real challenge for the monarchy is remaining relevant in an increasingly cynical world, doubting its relevance. The younger generations, both royal and non-royal, are less wedded to tradition than their parents, and this shift in attitude is reshaping the discussion of what the future will hold for the crown. As the monarchy struggles with these ailments, there is growing evidence that the strict hierarchies and conventions that have long governed the royal family are increasingly difficult to maintain. Charles himself ascended to the throne with a vision of a slimmed-down monarchy. But with his health under scrutiny and leading players such as Catherine also requiring time to devote to recuperation, this approach is being stretched to the limit. The fact is that there are fewer elderly royals taking on duties, and with the younger royals like Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis not yet old enough to take on duties fall to an impossibly small pool. Prince William has had to take on an increasingly public role, and yet there is tension between his duty and his desire to raise his children in a more contemporary manner. In contrast to previous heirs who inherited royalty by birth, William and Catherine have tried to provide their children with a relatively normal childhood, emphasizing education, independence, and individual identity. Beyond the direct royal family, the younger generation in the UK and Commonwealth will increasingly question the place of the monarchy in their lives. Current opinion polls have noted a very strong divide between voters of more mature age and young voters, with the former being less than enthusiastic about the sustainability of the monarchy. The institution of the monarchy represents an age far gone and is no longer relevant in the modern world. Issues such as climate change, economic inequality, racial justice, and mental health become matters of urgency in the thoughts of new generations, and they believe that democratically elected governments, activists, and technology-driven movements are better agents of change than a system of monarchy by heredity. This disconnection has also been fueled by some of the more recent royal scandals, including the Duke and Duchess of Sussex stepping down from royal duties and their fairly public criticism of the institution. Their decision to step down from their offices and forge their own path in the United States sent a powerful message that even those who have been born into the system are questioning its sustainability and opting out. Also, some nations, including Barbados, have already excised the British monarch as head of state, and Jamaica and Australia have announced they will also be doing this. This steady pulling back is a signal that the international stature of the monarchy is losing its grip, and if the young people do not support it, then its authority can keep on eroding. In the meantime, there is a wider debate about what kind of monarchy should exist in the future. Should it continue to be a constitutional one with primarily ceremonial roles, or should it be subject to profound changes in order to fit into the changing world? There are others who assert that the monarchy needs to be pushed to change even more and made more democratic, inclusive, and responsive to contemporary issues. Others believe the institution must be gradually phased out so that the UK can become a republic like some other European nations have become in recent years. These concepts, once thought to be on the fringes, are now gaining popularity. The ailments of King Charles, Queen Camilla, and Catherine have brought these controversies to a head because they have exposed the vulnerabilities of an institution that rests so heavily on a few individuals. If the leading actors cannot perform their roles because of illness, what does that portend for the stability of the monarchy? If later generations are not so eager to volunteer to the tough demands of life within the monarchy, will there be enough leadership to pass it on? Prince William is caught in the middle of it all. Although he has said that he is very committed to his future role, he is also very well known for being into a more modern style of leadership. He has talked freely about mental health, campaigned on green issues, and reacted to people in a less reserved way than royal figures have previously. At the same time, he is aware that the institution he is about to inherit is under threat of being abolished. His children, particularly Prince George, will ultimately decide whether they fully accept their roles or begin to redefine them. The monarchy, at least for now, remains in limbo. King Charles's health is a worry, and if it worsens, there may be sensational shifts in royal responsibilities. Queen Camilla also, though robust, is faced with the harsh reality of age, and Catherine's sickness is something that must be handled critically. With all these questions hanging over the monarchy, the masses are left questioning whether the institution will survive this attack. The next couple of years will be pivotal in deciding the fate of the crown. If the monarchy can adapt and connect with each new generation, then perhaps it will survive. But if it continues to be seen as out of touch and irrelevant, its critics will shout louder for reform. History is a heavy burden, but the world is moving so fast, and it is only time that will tell if the monarchy can keep up. That brings us to the end of this video, and we will see you in the next one.